Welcome back, everyone. Again, thank you for being here and growing with Princeton Microgreens. We really appreciate your support. And as of lately, I've actually received and seen a lot of questions on a lot of forums, Facebook pages, Reddit. I mean, you name it. And the number one question I see is, what's the shelf life on microgreens? And to be honest, it's kind of it's a little bit of a complicated question because there's all different kinds of shelf life for depending on what you're doing. So I kind of wanted to take a moment and go through that today. Let's go ahead and get started here. First thing I want to talk about is, most people cut their microgreens. They put them into like a plastic tray, a plastic container, and then they resell them. The mistake I see a lot of people make is they're washing their microgreens. You don't need to wash your microgreens unless you're really planting your microgreens, outside in a garden, and there's there's bugs or you're introducing some sort of chemical to them. Then yeah, you would probably want to wash them, but you shouldn't be growing microgreens like that in the first place, right? Microgreens, we grow indoor. We have no pest issues. We have no bug issues. We have no need to use any chemicals on our greens. And when we cut them, they're super clean. I mean, we don't even get medium on them. It's just a clean crop. We don't top water them, and so forth. So if you're doing any of those things, you should probably watch one of our videos and see how we grow, because we don't do any of those things. Bottom watering is one of the most important things that you can do to actually get a high shelf life in your microgreens. And the reason why is because what's happening is I see people top watering their plants and so forth on the top, and then they're harvesting their crop wet. They're not letting it dry out, and then the biggest thing with shelf life is that if you have a wet crop, it will not last more than a few days. Microgreens need to be very dry when you harvest, and if you wash them, I don't care what you do, you're going to ruin them. I don't care how you dry them. I don't care if you use a salad spinner. I don't care if you use a fan. It's going to crush the shelf life of your microgreens. So again, harvest dry, don't wash, and I promise you if you do that, so what we do is we use these containers right here. These are, by the way, I highly recommend these. These are not plastic. These are made of cornstarch. They're plant-based and they're 100% biodegradable and compostable. And you can find the link down in my description box below. These are awesome, and they're just a touch bit more than plastic. So please, if you're using plastic, consider these, because not just for the environment, but I promise you, your clients are going to love these. I have clients all the time that ask, are these plastic? Can I wash these? I give them back to you, and I say they're compostable. They're made of cornstarch. Just either A, throw them out, and they're just going to, disappear over a few months, or put them in your compost pile. So both of the containers that we have here, all from greenpaperproducts.com. So definitely check that out. So anyways, and then we also have these right here, which are food safe packs. They suck out the humidity in the container, which is pretty important, because if you've noticed before, when you cut microgreens and you put it into like a plastic-like container, you start to see the humidity and get kind of cloudy even when you put them in a refrigerator, right? This will kind of suck the humidity out of the container to, again, make the shelf life last a little bit longer. So long story short, I guess, I would say that the majority of our microgreens, your traditional microgreens, your broccolis, your cabbages, your kohlrabis, your rutabagas, just your mustards, they're all basically the same type of microgreen, how they grow and how they look. I can get 2 to 3 weeks of shelf life easily. I've actually had people say that they've lasted for 4 weeks in their refrigerator. And mind you, that's taking it out of my refrigerator. That's bringing it to a farmer's market, for instance, having it sit on the table of the farmer's market for 2 hours, somebody buying it, driving home, putting it back into the refrigerator, and still lasting, another 3 weeks easily. I've actually had pea microgreens last over a month long. No sludge, no nothing. It didn't break down at all, and they looked and tasted great. I tasted it myself. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that pea microgreens could last that long. But again, it's all about how you store and how you package your product. It's very, very important. So for the next thing here, we actually went, and I'm not sure if you saw our video or not. I'll put a link or card here at the top that you can see. Wheatgrass. So we talked about before, wheatgrass does not stay good in the refrigerator. If you juice wheatgrass, for instance, you have to drink the juice almost immediately. You can't store wheatgrass juice. It's going to go bad very quickly, within hours, even putting it in the refrigerator. So we actually created a video on how to actually make these. It's a wheatgrass pack, ice pack basically, and you can just cut out one of these squares here and put it right in your smoothie in the morning. Blend it up, bam, you're good to go. And this is 24 blocks. This is actually one full tray of wheatgrass, so it's pretty neat. Again, you can see our video, and this will last for months, right? So. You think to yourself, okay, I have wheatgrass here, or I have too much wheatgrass here, or I didn't get to sell all my wheatgrass. What can I do to store extra? Or this, to be honest, this is all I sell now. I'm not even going to sell wheatgrass anymore because this is so awesome and this will last for months, and it's very easy to do. So I think we're just going to do this from here on out. So yeah. And the last thing that we do is we have restaurants that we actually just deliver trays to, right? So you need to think to yourself the logistics of that, though. If you have a restaurant that you're delivering a tray of microgreens to, for instance, on a Monday, and they're going to use that tray all the way through Saturday, right? Then you have to think about how is that tray going to last for the restaurant, right? Is it going to grow too much? Like, for instance, if you give them radish, right? Radish grows pretty fast and pretty quickly. So if I give that to them on a Monday, that radish, by the time it gets to Saturday, is going to be huge. It's going to be probably too big. The true leaves will be coming out way too much. It'll probably be really bitter, and so forth. So kind of depends on the crop. But I will say this. What we do is, for certain things, like if we're delivering radish to a restaurant, we'll actually give the restaurant radish about 2 days earlier than it's fully matured, I guess you can say, right? And that way, when I deliver it on a Monday, it won't be really, they can start cutting it and using a little bit of it, won't hurt at all, right? But by the time they finish the tray, it'll be at that mature state over the next few days. It'll probably be at its, mature state on Wednesday, and then should be able to last no problem Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It might get a little bigger, but 3 days shouldn't kill it. Also, you want to make sure they are actually putting their entire tray into their walk-in refrigerator, right? And what that does is it actually slows down the microgreens and growing too much. So you want to make sure they're watering them every day, not too much. You kind of just teach them that, just tell them, maybe half a cup of water. Because when they're in a freezer, they're not going to use a ton of water because they're going to kind of stay dormant a little bit. I'm sorry, not freezer, the refrigerator. Walk-in refrigerator. You don't want to put these in the freezer. Again, when we give these to the restaurants, maybe a day or two early, depending on what kind of crop it is. That way they have time to mature a little bit more when you give it to them. And then also just make sure they know how to store them. And these should stay, this is cilantro right here. Cilantro grows really slow. So if I give a restaurant cilantro today like this will pretty much stay like this almost the entire week for the restaurant. I shouldn't really have to worry. So yeah, you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them below in the comment box. I really hope I answered some questions here. I really tried to touch base on things that I've really seen, and it's so hard to just answer a comment in a Facebook post or something. There's so much information to really get out there, and that's why I wanted to make a video about it. So again, if you have any questions, please ask. So I'm always around, and I'm always answering questions. So, but yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys soon, and the future of all of our grows. I have a lot more ready to go, so stay tuned, and we'll see you soon. All right, bye-bye. Hello everyone, Peter here from Princeton Microgreens. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Also, if you have any ideas, suggestions, or questions, feel free to leave them below in the comment box. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.